Oh, good. Okay, so now we are. Okay, so now we're in YouTube Live, but with the other room, it says I'm there.
It does say you're there.
Oh, it's still
But,
spinning for me.
well,
But
then
yeah,
I'm going to
okay,
put this address in your.
okay. Thank you. And then
And
let's see where that takes us. Thank you.
And then we might be.
Because I can see the chat. I just saw you say meet us here, but then but to log in, it's not letting me. So can you do it in the meeting room? Well, it actually doesn't matter. Where's that link at that you want me to?
Oh, I put it in the chat.
Okay, well, let's see, because I saw your other. I'm going to open the whole window. Oh, there. Oh, Megan's here. Oh, yay.
Yeah. There she is.
In the meeting. Oh my gosh. Megan, you're in our meeting room, not the Be Connected. How'd that happen?
Well, because I put the link to this room for her here.
Oh, Coleen, hi, Megan. So fabulous that you're here. We're getting ready to get the show going, and YouTube Live, and I'm trying to get into our Be Connected room also. Coleen, can you give me the link for the event? I'm already in the link for the event.
Yeah.
And Megan, just so you know, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm trying to get into our Be Connected stream, and it's spinning for me right now. So I'm gonna back out. I know we have. Oh, it just went white. Maybe we're in transition. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So do we have any feedback? It looks like we don't, because Megan, just so you know, and I'm gonna get recording after I say this. Because Megan, are you just here as a guest from Be Connected? Are you a trainer? Or are you just here enjoying the show?
I'm here.
She is one of our elite affiliates, and will be for sure any minute. But Megan, actually, if you want to go back to the event, we seem to be good over there. So see you back there.
So I know Megan can run both, but why? Well, I mean, she could, and then she'd be on Facebook Live. She'd be on YouTube Live, which if she asks any questions or anything, it doesn't matter because she's not going to be speaking. So,
and just so you know, she is not. Huh?
You're echoing now.
I'm echoing now. What I did is I turned off the speaker in the meeting room, but I still have my mic and camera going. It's just not the speaker.
Yeah. So were you getting feedback?
Mm-hmm.
You were. I'm not, but now you're sounding echoey. So then do I shut off my speaker then? No, because I need to hear you. You need to hear.
Oh. Well, you'll hear me through.
Okay. Okay. So the speaker I can turn off. Okay. This is interesting. Just getting a couple things. YouTube, we're getting this connected, and I definitely want to share with you the Be Connected app because we're in that. And if you want to connect with me through YouTube, I can show you how you can do your own show, and how you can use different softwares to flow in different places, because that's what we are doing right now. Okay, so Coleen, if I don't do my speaker, I'll do it on the meeting room, just like what you're doing.
And I'll see.
But how do you turn it off? The speaker. Up there.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Okay, we just did it. I just figured out how we can stream other places. And Megan, you said I'm not getting an echo. I know it was over in meeting. Oh, but you didn't hear it. That's interesting, Megan. Okay, I think we are ready. Anything else technical that we need to talk about?
I think we're good.
Okay, and then Megan, if you do stuff and you have a show and you're streaming other places, make sure you connect with Coleen. She'll help you with that, because it sounds like you guys know each other, because we're discovering things that maybe if you if it works for you, I'm not going to talk about any other software right now, but just to stream other places this is wonderful.
The little workaround until everything is in one place. Yes.
Do you see that? Megan saying Coleen is my jam. Megan, why is Coleen not somebody's jam? That's what we should be going that angle, don't you think, Megan? It's like, no, I don't like Coleen. It's like, okay, but you're one out of 50 million. So just exactly. Okay. All right. Let's get the show going. I'm going to check on you on YouTube just to see how you're doing here. Woohoo! All right. Yep. We got it. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm so in love with this because we're figuring it out. This is our second round running this messy pancake thing because it's a perfect example of messy pancakes. All right. Welcome in. We are at Fresh Talks. Oh. Start recording. Welcome into Fresh Talks Global Vision. I am so excited about talking about embracing your messy pancakes. You know what? My brain was so much on pancakes. You know what I did this morning? I made pancakes for the kids, and it's summer vacation for them. One kid is moving to Washington. Oh, I'm going to miss him so much. My other kid is going to move out of town almost 5 hours away to go to college. And it's all happening within 1 week. Do you think I have messy pancakes?
Ooh, that's a lot of new adjustments to be making.
Coleen, I tell you, I am just like, last night I fell apart. My husband said, okay, I'm home. Let's do a workout because I have an awesome workout facility. I used to personal train here at what I call the Fresh Inspiration Ranch. That's where I live. I just coined it that. I'm like, hey, man, this is the Fresh Inspiration Ranch. And I said, I can't stand routine. I need to get out. I got the keys. And I said, I'm going for a drive. And I was gone for 2 hours. And at some point, I finally got to cry, too, because I was just like all in my head. And just like, I felt like there were these things that are just stopping me. I just couldn't focus. I'm like, you want dinner? And like, I couldn't even think about dinner. I was trying to write a newsletter in the afternoon. And I kept like, almost like hitting my head against the wall. How do you do that? Like, this is what happens. Is like you think you have it dialed in and you're like, if you get in truth, you'll notice that you can function at a very high level of like chaos and look on the exterior that everything is fine because you get very, very good at it. But what I want to challenge you with in these messy pancakes and embracing it is one of the things that Coleen was saying, this is what I really, really want to focus in on. And this is our Mindset Matters series. This is probably our 5th, 6th interview. We're doing great interviews. I can't wait to get into this with Coleen. What I want to challenge you in is not just the way you're showing up, but be in truth. Somebody can say, I'm dealing with something, and we can one-up them and say, well, I'm doing great. I'm dealing with things better than you might not say you, but our competitiveness can really easily put us in a way where we're still putting those walls up. People can be authentic to you and you're like shaming them, going, oh, whatever, because you think that there is nothing going on for you. You know what? Every person has something going on for them, but you want to be authentic with yourself. And that's one of the most vulnerable things to do. That's why Mindset Matters is extremely important. That's why I have a global vision, hashtag speaker locking arms. Every time we use our vocals, it's an opportunity to share love, just like the smile. As a speaker, though, that could just be that you're not even out there on stage speaking, but it could be that you're out there just going to the grocery store. And you have these wonderful conversations. If you're a speaker, that you are learning that your stories and the love for life and you're on the hook for you to take care of your nervous system, your health, so that you can quantum leap in your life. Not just here and now doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's a great quote, but it's about really feeling your feelings and being authentic with that. And if somebody shares something with you that you're not used to, give yourself a breath in and enjoy and lean in and embrace your messy pancakes. Coleen, welcome in with your messy pancakes, ready to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And embracing it.
And I love the phrase messy pancakes is a messy pancake in and of itself. It's a combination between taking messy action, which can be inspired action, but if it's the first time you're doing something, sometimes it's going to be messy, like that first pancake. So it's messy action plus first pancake, messy pancakes. And I love messy pancakes because for me, it means that I tried something new, or just like you were talking about, I'm embracing my truth. My reality is, okay, I don't know how to do this very well yet, but you know what? I'm going to try, because any action is better than no action. And I think sometimes we get so caught up, like you were talking about comparison. We get so caught up with what's somebody going to be thinking about me if I try this and I don't get it right the first time. Am I going to let myself be embarrassed and worry about what somebody else is thinking about me? Or am I going to embrace the fact that I stepped out of my comfort zone and I tried something new and I made that first messy pancake?
So this is our second time kind of launching this conversation. So I want to go deeper in what that represents I want to go deeper in the being comfortable with things not going smooth, with learning how to embrace what your emotions and what you're going through and being clunky in front of people. And it's that first pancake. So in your scenario of that first pancake, can you give me what that represents when it comes to authentically stepping into new things? Any stories around that? Anything you want to share about getting comfortable with that clunkiness so you can keep growing?
Oh gosh, yes. I have examples on both sides of the fence. And first, I'm just going to back up and talk about there's 4 stages of learning that I really dove into a couple years ago, and I'm loving this. There's unconscious incompetence. That's when we don't know what we don't know. We don't really care either. But as soon as we make a decision to learn something new, to try something new, like being on the BEEKONNECTED platform, for me at one point it was, man, I want to learn how to play the drums. I really want to learn how to play the drums. And so I remember back then I was so excited, like, how hard could it be? How hard could it be? So I got myself a little practice drum kit and some drumsticks, and I just started playing around. And then I was like, well, you know what? I really know now that I do not know what I'm doing. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. It's one thing playing the dashboard in the car, playing along to the songs as you're driving along, playing.
I did that with Wham, by the way, Coleen. When we were growing up, Wham was big, man. We went to Chinese food and I was hitting the dashboard with those, just like singing, El Tropicana or whatever the song was.
Well, then, so I tried to translate that. You think you sound so great. It's like singing in the shower, right? So then I took some lessons and I knew I needed to practice. And it was harder than I thought. So my brain, in this conscious incompetence phase, my brain talked me out of moving forward. And that's what stops a lot of people when they are learning new things. It becomes difficult, or they hit a snag, or they make the first pancake, and it's like, I can't even imagine creating one that's edible. So they just give up. And in my case, I gave up. But I'm going to flip over to the BEEKONNECTED example. When I first joined the platform, I was like, ooh, wow, I don't know a lot of things, but you know what? I know that right now I am creating more brain power that's going to serve me in the future. And once we stick with that frustration, and we stick through it and things finally start clicking, boy, is that a special kind of feeling where we enter into conscious competence. We still have to think about what we're doing, but we're doing it, right? And then as soon as we get all the hours necessary, we shift into unconscious competence. And that's when we're able to do things on autopilot. So for me, I have learned to embrace that phase of conscious incompetence. And that was a hard pill to swallow because it really forced me to look back on all the things that I had stopped doing because things got too hard.
You'll notice that just with live video, there's a couple times that I was affecting Coleen because just kind of setting up in the background. So sorry about that, Coleen. Coleen, there's so much there in those stages too. And I find myself, and sorry, I had to tell that story about, if we backtrack just a moment, about the wham and the hitting. I do want to tell you, sometimes you meet these people that that you just have so much like love for them. And Coleen and I both, we used to go to San Francisco, and I want to bring this into Mindset Matters, and I want to ask you a question, Coleen. And we were in this mindset of like, man, our town, we're only getting to meet so many people in our town. And there was something that drove us to, to drive miles to go to San Francisco. Now, we both didn't know each other then, but it shares with you that at that stage, when we were younger in our teens and early 20s, that we were seeking something new. We were in our messy pancakes, because what do you do when you're going to San Francisco? Well, it can be scary. You're in the warehouse district, and you're in a big warehouse, and you're just dancing and having this great time. But it's all new, especially when you're younger. And so, Coleen, when you're talking, and I want to bring that up because I really care a lot about Coleen. So we may do some riffs back and forth about being in the dance club, because that's what's going to make this show even more fun with our stories. And maybe you did. I want to hear a story from any of you about like any unique things you've done that you can really see that you've been working on your Mindset Matters. And Coleen really broke it down to the ways of how you can work with the stages to be comfortable with what you're doing when it's new. And we have Megan in here, and she said, conscious incompetence. Yep, that was from Megan. The easiest place to quit, but the most important place to keep going.
And have it.
Megan, you bring up a good point. I'm just going to pivot right there, because I like when people like just share whatever because we have people on live on YouTube also. And so you just pivoted in a perfect place here, Megan. Coleen, when somebody really wants to quit, and this is for you to kind of speak to the community in the places that we're going live and also in recording, what are the things that you help them with when they're dealing with the insecurities within themselves? They're so used to, being put together, and the shaming and the blaming that they can be doing on themselves because they know that they have to learn what you're saying. How do you get them in that space where they can feel safe? Or any stories around there, kind of more details and the steps there?
Oh, yes. And it's Megan will know where this is from. Our mentor, Peter Sage, really broke down these stages really well for us. And it's something that, and I love that this is for Mindset Matters, because it's exactly the mindset. When we realize, when we are at that point of decision, like, okay, this is really hard, and and our brain always trying to keep us so safe helps us make excuses as to why it's okay to quit. We have a decision to make there, because and again, it's going past that programming that limits us. And again, it's just our brains trying to keep us safe. But when we decide that, yes, I am moving forward, it's all about mindset there. And one of the things Peter Sage teaches us when we get into that secondary phase, once we do decide to stick with it, to get as messy as we need to be as we're learning this new skill, sticking with it, is to celebrate all of that frustration we're feeling. Because when we do, in our brains, we are creating 10 times more myelin. And myelin, for those out there who might not know what this is, it's the protective sheath that's around all of our nerves in our brain. And once that protective sheath is growing faster, it means that thoughts, electricity can fire faster. And one cool story is when Einstein passed away, he donated his brain to science, right? And so when they went to look at his brain, they thought, oh, this is going to be a bigger brain than anybody in history. But what they found is his brain was actually a little smaller than average brains, but what it had was so much more myelin. So that, chicken or the egg, who knows, was it his ability to stay in that conscious and competent and move past? Or was it, did he have more myelin, which enabled him to get out of that phase faster? Regardless, for me, I really now get excited every time I get to learn something new, because I know I'm going to get frustrated. But I know that it's so good for my brain and my health and my overall well-being. And it's always something to celebrate.
I didn't know that about what the term was called. So myelin, which is basically the matter of our brain. I really believe when you look at his journey, if we can go there, because I want to think about our brain, and how we can expand, and how we've learned so much about how our brain is pliable. We used to think like our synapse, and this is about mindset matters, because you can change, you can shift, even if you don't always believe in yourself. This is where I think the more stuff, because Coleen, I want to hear some more from you. We kind of spark something here, but we can break those old synapses. We're known to say 60,000 words to ourselves every day. And since we have since our brain is more reptilian, it's going to be fight or flight. And if you're in there, that's why you really want to work on your heart and learn how your heart and brain can work together, that you get to break those old synapses. And so we're known to say 80% of those words are negative. But I know that if we break the synapses, we shift our brain in a way of those new stories and bringing new synapses to more positive pictures, because that needs to happen in our world. We see so much crud going on out there. How can we look at that, give ourselves heart space of okay, I know that's going on, but then you give yourself that moment to find all the gratitude and the myelin, the smartness, the new things that you're doing. You're getting more matter in there to help that creativity, to learn more. And we hear so many people say that we can't change. And so you're going to have that issue, those insecurities around that. Coleen, for you, because you're building in this Be Connected app, and everybody that's on YouTube, please tell me, I'm going to give you a link also to get into the free app so you can experience, or if you want to level up, Coleen is one of the people that's a trainer also. So when you were getting trained and learning all this stuff and the things that you do now, how does that help people to have that exposure when there's blaming and shaming going out there? And you're going to get the exposure. Not everybody knows about this research because we feel insecure, because we know, okay, my immediate group knows about this research. I feel bad and bold and I'm going to go out there. But when you go out there, you feel sometimes you need to prove yourself instead of just being and allowing yourself to feel free. So what are some of the things that you do to be able to help people feel something, love out there and all that exposure? Where's that step come from after understanding this to really getting out there and doing it?
Yeah, to applying it. That's a
Yeah.
great question. And I love how you said it right there. It starts with gratitude. Like, what can you be grateful for about this frustration? Knowing what you know now. And I usually love to tell people, I love the story about the 4 phases of learning. Because what I like to, yes, Megan just said it right there, to let go of goop is a really great way. That's easier said than done too, but it's all connected. And goop is the good opinion of other people.
Thanks, Megan, for adding that too. I love this interaction.
Yeah. And what I love about those who matter don't mind. They will embrace all the messy pancakes with you. And those who mind don't matter. Those are the people you really don't need in your life if they're not rooting for you.
Yeah.
Why listen to them, quite frankly? But what I love to ask people, most of us drive. And, I remember learning how to drive in my mother's 1971 Dodge Polara, an old police car that my parents got at the police auction, right? I learned and I remember driving in the parking lot in Cupertino, right? And on the weekends, there were so many parking lots and they'd be empty. So my mother would take me there and we'd get behind the wheel and I'd, slam on the brakes because I didn't have and I'd slam on the gas, and it was, I think typical of everyone learning how to drive, right? But I so wanted to learn to drive so much that I was going to do anything to practice so that I could get my license, because that prize of the license was so much bigger than any little oopsies I had in a parking lot. And again, I'm really grateful for parking lots.
Coleen, you get to go dancing and go everywhere you want because the car represents freedom.
It did, yes. When I got in my 1975 Honda Civic and I drove up 101 to the city by myself, and was able to, like you said, maneuver around town. Again, there was some frustration. I'm lost, but that prize of getting to the club and getting to meet new people and to dance, when I like to, it all goes back to, why are you learning how to do this? How big is your why? And that, for money mindset, I know you talk about your why a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Coleen, a question for you. I love this independence. You just said something which I want us entrepreneurs and people that are seeking new things, that sometimes it's great to have a coach, but you're still out there kind of feeling solo, even though we're partnering. You're always trying to find partners and playfulness. So you're not out there by yourself really, unless you start playing that solo game. So when you were going to San Francisco, you were going by yourself because you couldn't find people to go with. Like that happened to me. So you're driving solo to San Francisco. You did that?
Oh yeah, not all the time. If I could drag my bestie, I was absolutely going to do that. Or sometimes, one time there was a group of us that took the train from the South Bay all the way up to the city, and that was a new experience. And this is definitely, for those listening out there, this was way before the cell phone. There's no GPS. If one of us thought to bring a map, that would have been great. But I always had a map in the car, though.
I still kind of don't know how to read the map. Like I do, but that GPS on our phone, woo! You don't have to even think about it; it just tells you. So, Coleen, we're at the end here, and what would you like to share? Because I wanted to bring that in about just the tenacity of you and everybody out there. Like, where is that tenacious space that's ready to like find freedom, create safety just based on you're ready for new things. Getting messy in your pancakes is still safe when you start learning about this. And also healing our brain, growing the myelin. I'd look at the word because it's like a new word for me. Ooh, I love that new word. But what's something you want to, like a story or some skill stuff you want to bring in? What feels good in your heart to help circle this into just a great conversation, embracing your messy pancakes?
Embracing your messy pancakes. Yes. Well, I'd say the first step to embracing messy pancakes is to remember why you're grateful for the fact that the messy pancakes exist at all. To really be clear on what your vision is and why you're learning how to do whatever it is you're learning how to do. And that you're never alone. Even if you're driving up to the city by yourself, there's always going to be someone you can stop and ask for directions. It's better when you are with a coach or, a collaborator to bounce ideas off of, or maybe someone to read the map to you as helping you navigate.
Yeah.
And just to remember, yes, we live in a friendly universe that's constantly providing for us. It's always safe, like you said. Just go for it.
I love that. And I'm breathing in, just kind of giving that space, because even like meditation, like there's just a moment where you just like, just let it be, let it lie there. You did some great information here, Coleen. I'm so amazed. Megan said you're always supported. I know, and I think that's what we're doing as coaches and people that are supporting each other is, yes, there's chaos. Allow your brain to relax, but I know stepping into the heart helps that gratitude. So you're not seeking when is that other shoe going to fall, but you're looking at what is the next adventure in getting comfortable with your messy pancakes, getting really comfortable, discovering. And I have a few things here where I feel like Fresh Talks Global Vision. We have so many entrepreneurs out there, and a lot of people that I attract are in business or just mindset, motivation. I believe to make the first 250,000 in your business, or just to level up, like money is energy. It doesn't have to be money, but let's translate what that frequency is, and not that, oh, I need the money, but that frequency, like that it's not going to, if you make your first 250,000, there's not going to be like all of a sudden you're just fully happy. It's just one of the energy pillars. So anything and everything you're doing, but I believe that we need freedom, safety, and healing. And what Coleen and I spent a lot of time in this freedom area of, like opening your arms up, understanding that your brain can change whatever you feel now, that you are going to learn and discover how to be raw and vulnerable, and how beautiful that is. We talked about the heart. The heart is so vulnerable. And when you start opening it up, you tend to cry because you're just used to that, getting used to that exposure. But no, it's going to get better and better, because even that find your gratitude is, it's like VIP. It's like you have this beautiful champagne, you're just sipping it. And if you don't drink alcohol, get your seltzer, get your beautiful, high level water, whatever it is that you VIP yourself with, and create the mindset that you want. Understand that people around you may not always be on board, but it's okay if you keep coming back to your heart, and you start creating the love around you, so that you're not solo by yourself, but you really know hashtag speaker locking arms. I have a 5-year global plan that I want to bring. I haven't gotten the number, so I'm going to tell you next time or soon when I can see it, but I want to bring people together, and it's a humanitarian project. So it's humanitarian, fresh mindset transformation entertainment is which I trademarked years ago. And it's a humanitarian project because I was on thyroid medicine for 20 years. And I believe after 8 years of being on medicine, gaining weight, slimming down, toning, and learning that's all an emotional journey. I get to have any body I want. I get to have anything I want, but it's me discovering and learning. And so that's the frequency and the energy we're talking about here. Coleen gave us such great tips. I want you to review this if you were here live with us, and put your earbuds in, go work in the yard, go for a walk, or just be silent with your your journal and your pen, and really discover, how are you going to move forward? How are you going to create this beautiful world that you can see right now? Because I know there's motivation right now. That's why you want to write it down, because as soon as you turn this off, you're going to be, why was I so motivated this morning? Have you ever had that happen? So write it in a journal, keep listening. I want you to reach out to Coleen Parsons. I want you to get on Be Connected. I want you to know that we're all here for love, and I hope you are too. You wouldn't be watching this if you're not learning that discovery also. I appreciate you and love you so much. Coleen Parsons, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rhonda. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you.
I love hanging out with you. Like, my voice goes up when I hang out with Coleen. So,